Hello everyone, welcome back to advanced shorthand, and now we are already in our 13th week. Okay, so tapos na po tayo sa midterms and we are now in the last part of this subject, yung ating finals, yung mga lessons natin for finals. Okay, so before we move on, please have with you your modules, also the notebook that you've been using in our previous videos kung saan ninyo isunulat yung mga strokes natin, and also your ball pen, and please write with me. Okay, so in your lesson, in your module, nakalagay dyan that in week 13, we are going to transcribe salutations and complementary closing. Ano po yung mga salutations? Yun yung mga sinusulat before a letter. Okay, kumbaga yung mga pambungad, kumbaga sa letter. Tulad ng Dear Miss, ayan, nakikita ninyo dyan. Very cordially yours, sincerely yours. Yan, yun naman yung mga pangwakas, complementary closing. Okay, so now next, so we are also going to transcribe words with the sound of aya, and then transcribe words beginning enter and inter, transcribe cities and states. Okay, so itong mga cities and states na sinasabi dito are the cities and states in the United States. Okay, sa Amerika po yung mga yan, hindi po dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, kasi nga sa Amerika naman nanggaling itong ano na to, itong writer, itong stenographer na to. Okay, si Greg. Kaya, syempre, yung ginawa niya ng mga transcription or yung ginawa niya ng strokes ng mga cities and states are from yun dun sa lugar nila. Okay, so yun yung pag-aaralan natin dito. Next, we are going to transcribe new set of brief forms. And of course, we all know that if we since we've been doing this for a while now, alam natin if there are brief forms, surely there will be brief form derivatives. Okay, and sometimes we also have brief form phrases. Next, number 6, we're going to transcribe word in ending tribute. Attribute, contribute, tribute words. Next, last, we're going to transcribe words ending full. Beautiful, bountiful, okay, so yung mga full. Okay, so now let's start. First up, we're going to transcribe our complementary closings and salutations. Bakit hindi siya gumana? Okay. Ano ba yan? Naghahang na yung ating laptop. Matanda na kasi. Makahintay na lang po ng konti. Okay, there you go. So first, we have Dear Miss. At kung maalala ninyo, meron tayong stroke for the DM blend. Yun yung ginagamit natin sa Dear Miss. Okay, so yung ating Dear Miss is yung DM blend and S. Yung ganyan na Dear Miss, ha. Okay, so we have Dear Miss. Iba naman yung Dear Miss na, yung Dear Miss naman na Dear Miss, yan naman is yung DMES. Okay, so nakita ninyo yung difference ng Dear Miss sa Dear Miss na shortcut. Okay, next, very cordially yours. So we have very is represented by the V, and then cordially for the K, and then yung yours. Dear Miss, yan. Next, we have sincerely yours. Sincerely yours, we have SN. Sandali lang, ha. Bakit parang wrong yung ating very sincerely yours. Okay. So, mali yung ating na transfer. So, ulitin natin. Okay. So, we have Dear Miss, DM blend, and then yung ating S, and then very cordially yours, we have V, Y-O-U for yours. Sincerely yours. So we have sincerely, which is represented by S-E-N, and then yung ating yours. Next, very sincerely yours. So we have V-S-E-N-U. Yours sincerely, you have U-S-N-E-N. Next, yours very sincerely. So we have U, and then yung V for very. Then we have this, oops. Ano ba yan? Ulitin natin. U, V, S-E-N. Very sincerely. Yours very sincerely. Okay, so those are our strokes for yung ating mga salutations and complementary closing. Okay, so kung maalala ninyo, meron na rin tayong na-discuss na ganito. Pero these are additional. Kung maalala niyo yung first, yung Dear Mr., Dear Mrs., okay, dun din nanggaling itong sing Dear Miss, yung Dear Madam, ganon. Dear Sir, yan, dun siya nanggaling, okay? So, next, yun yung first part. Now, this is our second part na mga complementary closing and salutations. Let's move on. So, next, we have the aya sound. Ano yung aya sound? So, yung, kung titignan niyo dyan, nandyan yung prior, riot, and nandyan sa inyong module ang sabi, the sound of long I followed by a soft A, as in riot, is represented by the long I symbol in which the tail of the I is closed as a second circle. Okay, so, yung itsura ng ating I symbol, yung ating I symbol ay ganito. broken I circle. Ngayon, yung aya sound, magkakaroon siya ng ilasang maliit na circle sa loob. Okay? Because you're going to close the yung kuwit na nasa loob ng I. Okay? To make a small circle. Okay, so let's try. Ano bang mga words ang merong aya na sound? So, here are the sample words for aya. Makulit ang manok. Napakakulit ng manok. So, I am recording from home. Please don't mind the chicken. Hindi po kasi namin yun manok, kaya hindi ko siya mababato. Okay, let's continue. So, we have riot. So, riot is like this when you stroke it in shorthand writing. Okay, so we have, ulitin natin, we have R, and then we have the aya stroke, and then we have the T. Matigas talaga ang ulo ng manok. Ulitin natin. So we have the R, and then the aya sound, and then the T. Riot. Now prior, we have PR, and then yung ating aya sound, and then another R. Okay, dryer. So we have D, R, I, R. Dryer. Dryers, we have D, R, I, R, S. Dryers. Okay, next we have trial. So we have T, R, I a sound, and then your L. Trial. Appliances. So we have A, P, L. I a sounds, N, S, S. Appliances. Next, reliance. So we have R, E, rela. I a sound, and then we have the N, and then the S. Science. We have S, and then yung ating I a sound, N, S. Ulitin natin para kita yung ano. So we have S, yan, and then yung ating I a sound, and then N, S. Science. Next, quiet. We have K for K, and then the I a sound, and then T, and we also have the W because it's quiet. It has the W sound. Next, client. We have KL, the I a sound, and then the NT. NT blend. Okay. Next, O'Brien. O'Brien is a name. So we have O, B, R, I a sound, N, and then your capital symbol. Okay. Next, we have Ryan. Ryan. So we have R, I, the I a sound, N, and then your capital symbol. Okay, so those are the sample words that has the aya sound, and also ganyan yung kanyang kung paano siya ini-stroke, okay, or paano siya sinusulat using shorthand writing. So let's move on to our next lesson. Kung may mga hindi kayo naintindihan, hindi ninyo o mga hindi ninyo nasundan na strokes, please go back and then try it again, try writing it again until you get it right. Okay, let's move on. Next up, we have our words that begins in inter and enter. Okay, so in your module, it says the word beginning inter as in interest and inter as in introduce are written with a disjoint N. Okay, so ano yung ibig sabihin ng disjoint? Nakasina. Okay, nagpasugnod, sinmina. Ganon. Ganon yung ibig sabihin ng disjoint. The word beginnings, enter as in entertain, and enter as in entrance are also written with a disjoint N. Okay, so yung ating mga words beginning enter, inter, and inter are written as a disjoint N. Okay, so, para makita natin kung paano siya ginagawa, let's have our examples. So, ayan. So, first, we have interest. Paano ba ginagawa si interest? So, we have inter, and then yung ating S. Okay, ulitin natin. Inter, S. Interested. So, we have interested, interest. We have S, interest. Interview. So, inter, and then view. Ulitin natin. So, we have inter, and then yung ating view. U sound. Yung U sound natin is E and U. Okay, next we have interviewing. So, lagyan na lang natin ng ing yung ating interview. Viewing. So, next we have interfere. So, yung ating inter. Lalagay muna natin yung ating inter. And then yung ating fear. F-E-R. Interfere. Ulitin natin. We have our inter, and then yung ating fear, F-E-R. Okay? Next, interferes. So, we have inter, and then fears. Ulitin natin para mas maganda. We have inter, and then fears. Okay? Next, interval. So, we have interval. So, it's a blend of V and L, which has the sound of vol. Ay, hindi pala siya blend. I'm sorry. It's V and L. Kasi, kapag pala ginawa natin siyang blend, magiging ano siya ng value. Magiging stroke siya ng value, okay? So, yung interval natin, it's V and L na hindi siya blend, okay? So, next, international. So, we have inter, and then our national is nation, null. Okay, so that's national. So, international. Next, interrupted. So, we have, saan natin ito ilalagay ngayon? We have inter, and then rupted. So, we have O-P-T-D. Ayusin natin. Pangit. Ulitin natin yung international. International. Okay. National. And then we have interrupted. Interrupted. So, yung up, O, and U, and P. Okay? Next, introduced. So, we have intro, and then deuce. Yan. Next, introduction. So, we have intro, daction. Okay? So, those are our inter words. Now, let's move on to our next set of words. Yung mga words with the enter sound. Ilipat lang natin sa paint. Yan, okay? So, these are our samples for words that has the sound of enter. Tulad nung ating inter kanina, they have the same stroke, which is the disjoint N. Okay? So, yung ating enter, since this is the enter, parehas lang ang kanyang stroke. In lamang. Ngayon, entering. So, we have enter, and ano ba yan? Bakit? Enter, ring. Next, we have entered. Enter, and then yung ating D. Yung ating D. Yan. Next, entertain. So, we have your enter, and then your TMDM blend. Entertain. TN. Yan. Next, entertainment. So, we have enter, and then yung ating tain, and then yung ating ment, entertainment. Next, enterprise. So, we have our enter, and the stroke for price. Yan. Enterprises, we have enter, prices, double S. Entrance. So, we have enter, and then ans. Entrance. Next, entrances. We have yung ating entra, and then anses. Yan. Okay? So, yan yung ating mga strokes. Explain natin yung entrances, yung parang kapag ka kasi enter, tinatanggal mo na yung tawag dito, yung vowel after the enter. Tapos yung sinusulat mo na lang yung next na consonant. Kaya ganyan yung ating stroke. Okay? So, let's move on to the next one. And these are the cities and states of United States of America. Okay, so copy muna natin yun. And then transfer natin dito. Okay, so ayan. So, Chicago, we have chick. Shinortcut nila, ginawa nilang chick. So, chick, when you say chick, it's the CH, and then E, and then K. And then we have your capital symbol. Next, Boston. Boston is represented by B-O-S. And then your capital symbol. Next, Philadelphia. So, Philadelphia is represented by your F-E-L-A and your capital symbol. So, parang fila. Next, San Francisco. San Francisco is represented by an S, N, and then your F, and then your capital symbol. Los Angeles. Los Angeles is represented by your L, O, S, A, and then your capital symbol. Okay. Next, St. Louis. So we have Saint, which is represented by our ST, and then Louis, L-O-U-S, L-U-S, and then your capital symbol. Next, Denver. Denver is represented by your DV blend and your capital symbol. Next, New Orleans. So, New, N-O, New Orleans. New Orleans, L-E-N-S, and then our capital symbol. Lastly, Seattle. Seattle is represented by S-E-T-L and your capital symbol. Seattle. Is this, yeah, I think it's A. Ulitin natin. It's S-A-T-L and then your capital symbol. Okay, so those are the names. Next, we move on to our next set, which are, ayan, meron pa. These are the states. So, yung kanina, those are the cities. Ito naman ngayon are the states. So, baba natin. So, Massachusetts is represented by MA. And your capital symbol. Okay, so ano yung, aside from Massachusetts, ano pa yung iba na merong ganyan na stroke? Yung May, the month of May. Okay, so you need to analyze your sentences if you're transcribing from from shorthand to longhand, kung ano yung mas appropriate na gamitin, kung yung May ba or kung yung Massachusetts, okay? Next, Illinois. Illinois. Illinois is represented by L. E, ano ba? E-L and your capital symbol. Next, we have Pennsylvania. So, Pennsylvania is represented by P and A and your capital symbol. Next, California. California is represented by our K-A and your capital symbol. Missouri, it's M-O, capital symbol. Wyoming, we have W-I. Next, Georgia, we have G and E. Or is that A? Di malinaw eh. Okay, so I think it's A. So we have G, A, capital symbol. And then we have Florida. So Florida is represented by your F and your L and capital symbol. Lastly, New York. N-I or N-Y, di ba? N-Y to sa ano. Ulitin natin, ang laki ng N. N-Y. And then your capital symbol. Okay, so those are our states for the United States of America. And naalala ko lang kasi yung United States of Aragon. Okay, so the same is true with yung ating mga Americans. Okay, so aaralin din natin yan kasi part siya ng libro. Okay. So we have America, American, and the United States. Paano yan ini-stroke? So America is represented by AM. Am. Parang am. Nasaan ka na? Ayun. So we have A, M. And your capital symbol, don't forget. Next, American. American is represented by, since America is already represented by AM, yung an na lang ang ilalagay natin. So, to make it clearer, we're going to use a jog and then your N. Okay? That's how you stroke American. Next, United States, we have U, the sound of U. Ew. We have E and U, and then your S. US. Okay? So, that is how you stroke yung ating mga cities and states and even yung country ng United States of America. Okay? So, now let's move on to our next lesson. And that is brief forms. Our favorite part of the subject, brief forms. Okay? So, for this lesson, ang ating mga brief forms ay si enclose, envelope, throughout. Okay, so let's start. Enclose is represented by your N and your K stroke. Okay, next we have envelope. Envelope is represented by your N, your VL blend. Ulit natin. And then VL blend. Bakit ang pangit? N, VL blend. Next, throughout. So, throughout is represented by your TH, under TH, your R, and then your out. Okay? Next, usual. So, usual is represented by your U, and then your sh. Okay? Ulitin natin. U, yung U, usual, and then CH. SH pala. Okay. Next, newspaper. So, newspaper is represented by your NSP. Ulitin natin. NSP. NSP. Recognize. So, recognize is represented by your R, K, N, I, S. Recognize. Recognize. Parang recognize. Next, property. So, property is represented by your P, T, P, T, E. P-T-P-T-E. Puppety. Puppety. Bakit parang, isn't it should be PR yan? Ito yung sinasabi ko na, um, kailangan malinaw yung mga strokes para property, I'm sorry about that. Property is represented by your PRPTE. PRPTE. Hindi kasi malinaw yung stroke dito. Okay, next, probable. I'm sorry. Probable, we have PRB. So we have PRB. Probable. Okay, so these are our brief forms. Now, of course, after every brief form, we have brief form derivatives. Ano naman yung mga brief form derivatives natin? So, first, we have enclosed. With the enclosed. Enclosed. It should be T, right? Enclosed. Anyway, here it's D. So, sa libro, D ang nakalagay, D ang susundin natin. Okay, so we have enclosed, which is represented by your N and K, and then let's add D. Next, enclosure. Enclosure, so we have your enclose. All we have to do is to put sure, which is S-H-U-R, enclosure. Next, envelopes. So we have our stroke for envelope, which is N-V-L. That's envelope. Now let's add S to make it envelopes. Next, usually. So we have our stroke for usually, which is your U sound, your U stroke. And then your SH, now you put the li. Okay, so that's how usually is. Next, unusual. So we have un, and then your usual. Ulitin natin, you have your un, and then your usual. Okay, next, we have recognized. So we have recognize, which is represented by your R, K, N, I, S. To make it recognized, let's add D. Next, recognition. So recognition, we have recognize, represented by R, K, recognition. Next, recognizes, we have recognize, and then add another S to make it recognizes. Next, probable or probably. So we have probable, PRB, and then let's add the li. Okay, so those are our brief form derivatives. Okay, kung may hindi kayo nakuha, hindi kayo nasundan ng mga strokes, please go back. Ulitin ninyo hanggang sa makuha ninyo ng tama, okay? Or kung hindi talaga makuha and you need my help, please feel free to reach me via messenger. Nasa GC po yan. Pwede sa GC, pwedeng i-PM din ninyo ako, okay? So now, let's move on to our next part of the lesson. And that is our tribute words. Okay, so tribute naman tayo ngayon. We're done with our brief forms. Punta naman ngayon tayo sa tribute. Okay, so paano ini-stroke ang ating tribute sound? So the tribute sound is represented by your T-R-E-B. Okay, so yan yung tribute. Parang trib lang. Okay, so let's start. Our first word is contribute. So contribute, con is represented by your K and then your ating tribute, T-R-E-B. Okay, next, contribution. So we have con and then our tribute. Ano ba yan? Con, tribute, and then yung ating Sean. Next, contributor. So we have con. Oops. Ano nangyari sa ating ballpen? Ayan. Okay. So we have con, tribute, tor. Okay, that's R. Next, distribute. So we have this, and then yung ating tribute. Next, distributed. So we have your this, and then yung ating tribute, and then ted. Next, distribution. We have this, yung ating trib. Oops. Ulitin natin yung nasa taas. We have this, and then yung ating trib, then yung ating ted. Next, distribution. We have this, and then yung ating tribute, then yung ating Sean. Okay? Next, distributes. We have your this, and then your tribute, and then your S. Okay, next, distributes. Ay, attributes pala. Attributes. So we have attributes. S. Next, attributed. So we have attributed. Okay, so those are our our tribute strokes. And yung mga samples natin are the words with the tribute sound. Okay? So now let's move on. Before we move on pala, ulitin ko lang, kung may mga hindi kayo nakuha na strokes, please make sure to go back and try it again hanggang sa makuha ninyo ng tama. Okay? So, ayan. Let's move on. Okay, so the next stroke that we're going to learn is the last one for this lesson, for this week. Okay, so, ayan. The sound full. Paano ini-stroke ang full sa shorthand writing? So, full is represented by your F stroke. Okay? So, pagka magtra-transcribe na kayo from shorthand to longhand and yung last na stroke doon sa isang word na itra-transcribe ninyo is F, tignan ninyo kung is it F really, the sound of F, or is it the sound of full that is used in that particular word. Okay? So, yan. Mag-stroke na tayo. Last na to, guys. This is the last one for this lesson. So, we have grateful. First, great, G-R-A-T, and then your full. Next, successful. We have S-U-K, and then your F. Ulitin natin ang pangit. We have S-U-K, and then yung ating F. That's successful. Next, successfully. We have successful, and then yung ating li. Ulitin natin. S-U-K-F, and then yung ating li. Successfully. Next, we have helpful. So, help, E-L-P, and then yung full, and then yung ating H. Don't forget your H. Ano ba yan? Ayan. Okay, next, useful. We have use. We have use. And then yung ating full. So, yung ating use is represented by E, U, S, and then yung ating F. Useful. Tama ba? Ulitin natin. So, we have E, U, S, ano ba yan? E, U, S, full. Okay, useful. Next, carefully. So we have care, K-A-R, and then full, F. Next, carefully, we have K-A-R, fully. Meaningful. So we have meaningful. Or usually, ang ginagawa, diretso na lang. Meaningful, and then your ing. Okay, next, beautiful. Beautiful, we have B-E-U-T-ful. Oops, yung ating E nakalimutan. Ayan. Okay, ulitin natin. B-E-U-T-E-F. Beautiful. Next, wonderful. Ulit. W O, and then your ND, and then your R, and then your full. Wonderful. Wonderful. We have W, U, N, D, R, and then yung ating full. Ulitin natin. Diretso. W, U, N, D, W, U, N, D, R, and then yung full. Okay, next, hopeful. Hopefully. So we have hope. That's hope. And then yung ating fully. And then don't forget your H. Okay, so H-O-P-F-ly. Next, thoughtfully. Thoughtfully, we have T-H-O-T full. Thoughtful lang pala. So we have T-H-O-T full. Next, doubtful. So we have doubt. D-A-U-T. Ayusin natin. Ang pangit. D-A-U-T-F. Doubtful. Thankful. So we have yung thank natin and then your full. Okay? So, yan. The thankful there is a brief form derivative. Kaya kung nagtataka kayo bakit siya iba, kasi maalala ninyo, thank is represented by this stroke. Ngayon, since it's a brief form derivative, wala na this one, pinalitan na lang siya ng F. So, naging ganyan na yung stroke. Okay? So, ayan, that's it everyone for this lesson. Thank you for being with me. Dun sa activity naman ninyo, wala siyang dictation. Okay, wala siyang dictation. So, all you need to do is to transcribe the longhand to shorthand letters and to transcribe or to transcribe the longhand to shorthand statements. Okay, so that's all everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you were able to learn new strokes today. Ayan, if you have any questions, I repeat, if you have any question, please feel free to ask in our GC, or you can PM me kung nahihiya kayo na makita ng iba, or kung talagang kailangan ninyo ng one-on-one na tutorial or ng one-on-one na discussion, please come to school. I'll be available. TTHS. Okay? That's all. Good day and God bless.